You're watching Underdog Gaming. Here with the beginner's guide for Aganos. Aganos is a unique character with a playstyle all his own. With the ability to set obstacles and stack armor at will, he's a literal mountain of a man that's fun to play and difficult to take down. First off, let's go over his command attacks. Fortified Chunk. Aganos picks a stone up from the ground and places it inside his chest. This grants him 1 hit of armor, allowing him to absorb attacks without losing momentum. You can have up to 4 hits of armor at one time. However, Aganos' speed decreases with each stone, and he isn't armored while jumping, making mobility very difficult when armored. If your opponent likes to keep their distance, then you can always use Payload Assault for some good damage. The light version sends a rolling stone across the floor. The medium version sends a stone flying through the air. The heavy version fires a stone like shotgun pellets. This only does minor damage from a distance, but causes massive damage up close. The shadow version does minor damage and has a long startup, but holds the enemy in place for a long period of time, allowing you to add up to 3 stones if you're far enough away. You can also use stones to summon a rock wall. Pressing all 3 punches will summon a wall behind your opponent, whereas pressing back plus all 3 punches will summon a wall behind Aganos. You can have up to 4 walls on screen at one time. These walls will break after 3 knockdowns, or 3 wall splats. If you have a wall behind you, then you can grab it and create the Peacemaker. This weapon will replace all your punches with new normals. Light Punch is fast and has decent range. Medium Punch has better range and does more damage. Heavy Punch hits overhead and does good damage. The crouching version hits low and causes a hard knockdown. The jumping version recaptures airborne opponents and can start off combos as well. You can even chain all 3 attacks together for easy damage. Just keep in mind that you only have 3 hits before the Peacemaker shatters. You can also throw the Peacemaker if your opponent is far away. This is the largest projectile in the game and destroys all projectiles in its path, so it's very useful to throw it. If you throw your opponent while holding the Peacemaker, then it will send them crashing through rock walls and cause major damage. Warpath. A series of stomps that do decent damage. These stomps are especially effective if you have armor, but become very risky if you don't. Next, let's discuss his special moves. Pulverize. A fast attack that does good damage and works great as an ender, but is not safe on block. So it's good to have armor just in case your opponent tries to punish you. The light version does minor damage. The medium version does more damage, but has slower startup. The heavy version does the most damage, but comes out the slowest. The shadow version does good damage and is throw invulnerable. Keep in mind that a shadow counter is an easy way to counter this move and take away all of your armor, so keep an eye on your opponent's meter at all times. Natural Disaster. A ranged attack that works great as an opener, but is very easy to punish if blocked. The light version does minor damage and travels a short distance. The medium version travels farther and does more damage. The heavy version travels the farthest and does the most damage. The shadow version travels full screen and does good damage. You can also charge it by holding down the attack. This is a great way to hit your opponent out of the air. If used as an ender, this move will switch sides with your opponent. Holding up during the attack will result in a short hop that's great for cross-ups. This hop will also hit any opponent trying to jump over you. It can also be used to make the move more safe on block, but it will still be punishable. Ruin. A damaging attack that's fast and has good range. The light version does the least damage and has the least range, but starts up fast. The medium version has better range and does more damage, but is slower. The heavy version goes full screen and does the most damage, but is also the slowest. The shadow version goes through projectiles and has an infinite amount of armor, allowing it to absorb anything in its path. If this move connects when your opponent has a wall behind them, then it will shatter the wall and cause massive damage. The more walls they crash through, the more damage they take. This will also occur if this move is used as an ender. Aganos' instinct summons his Peacemaker, and then replaces it every time it gets destroyed, giving him incredible range and damage for a short period of time. Next, let's discuss his best normals. Light Punch is fast and has good range. It can also destroy projectiles. Medium Punch has great range and does decent damage, making it a great poke. The jumping version is also a great air-to-air attack. Heavy Punch does great damage and has good range, but most characters can duck under it, so use it wisely. The crouching version works great as an anti-air. The jumping version causes a ground bounce if it hits. This is great for starting off combos or stacking armor. Light Kick is the fastest attack in Aganos' arsenal, making it great for punishing unsafe attacks. Jumping Medium Kick has decent range and works great as a cross-up. Heavy Kick has great range, does good damage, and causes a wall splat in the corner. The jumping version causes a wall splat as well. The crouching version hits low and then overhead for a tricky mix-up. It also causes a hard knockdown and has great range. Now let's put it all together for some basic bread and butter combos. Remember to always change up your attacks to keep your opponents from breaking your combos. The button translations are in the description below. I hope you enjoyed this beginner's guide. If you'd like to support the channel, please stop by my Patreon in the description below. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more videos. Come back next time, and as always, I love you!